Okay, so for the clouds, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but we're going to show you one called Fractal Noise. Let's make a new composition. This one's going to be the cloud background, and we're going to keep everything else the same, and then add a new layer and call it clouds. Solid layer called clouds. Now this one, it doesn't really matter what color you make it, because when you add this effect, it pretty much just uses the block to put the effect on. So go to Effect, Noise and Grain, and there's one here called Fractal Noise. So the Fractal Noise looks like just a bunch of noise on the screen, and it doesn't change unless you keyframe something called evolution. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that means. I'm going to keyframe evolution, go to the end and have it go around once, twice, maybe 3 times to show you what that looks like when it's evolved. Now it takes a lot longer for this one to render, especially if we are at full resolution. So one of the things that you can do to speed things up, you can see it kind of changing, is change this down to 1/3 or 1/4, and it will render things out much quicker, and you'll have an idea of if it's changing the way that you want it to or not. There are lots of settings with Fractal Noise. Once again, I'm going to press the U key on the layer to show me the keyframes for evolution in case I want to go and change those up a little bit. So there are some different types of noise. The soft linear is what it's defaulted to. Spline actually makes it even a little bit softer, more like clouds. And there is something here. There are lots of different kinds, and you should experiment and find one that you like for your clouds. There's one here called Cloudy, and it kind of works. You can invert it and get some different effects on there, change the amount of brightness, but it's still not the right color. And the coloration is going to come, let me bring that brightness down. If we go over here to Effects and Presets and type Color, you're going to see some different creative images, ways of adding that color in there. So I'm going to use the blue wash, and you can see that it really makes it kind of blue. So we're going to have to experiment a little bit with these settings. You can make it more complex, less. I think if I invert it, it looks worse. The spline there. So let's work on our brightness. And we've got some sort of clouds evolving over time. Now in order to simulate the movement, we're going to have to keyframe something very different. Let me close this back up. And you see this little center point here. That is over here under the offset turbulence. So go to the transform qualities of the fractal noise, and this center is set right here. And we can move this, and you'll see the clouds move without ending up with edges. If you grab this and move it, you break the illusion. So what we have to do is come to offset turbulence. I can go ahead and reset everything. Again, spline is a little softer, and we'll go to the cloudy. All right, we've got it evolving over time. That didn't get reset, but what we want to do is make it move. So I'm going to find this offset turbulence again under transform and keyframe its position. So I'm going to go to -5,000 for the Y, go to the end and type +5,000 again. So now what we'll see is that it's moving and will look like the rocket is flying through space. And you can keyframe this position to better match the movement of your rocket, but this is going to give us the basic rocket is flying up look for our background. Okay. So we've got our stars and we have our clouds.